When you want to increase your home security, but maybe you're not quite ready for a professionally monitored security solution, what's the next thing you buy? Well, a good place to start might be the Xsense Home Security System. Hey folks, Unboxer of Worlds here, and today I'm going to take a look at a home security kit from Xsense. In the interest of full disclosure, this kit was sent to me free of charge by Xsense for the purposes of this review. So there's a couple of different versions of this kit, a 5-piece set and an 8-piece set, and today I'm going to be unboxing and reviewing the 5-piece version. If you're interested in the kit, you'll find an affiliate link down in the description. From there you can select the version of your choosing. So you can see everything laid out on the front of the box. It's a very handsome set. Over on the back, there's a listing of what's included. This security kit consists of a motion sensor, a pair of entry sensors, a remote control, and a base station that acts as the central hub all these devices talk to. That's it for the packaging, folks. Let's take it out of the box. Okay, so everything is very neatly laid out and I'm eager to dig in. We'll check out the accessories and power adapter in a bit, but first, let's take a look at the base station. So these devices are primarily made from plastic with clean lines and a white color scheme. There's a speaker on the back of the base station for audible alarms and a USB-C connector. It's worth noting that the base station also features a battery backup, so even if the power is interrupted, it should keep functioning for up to 12 hours. Next up, we have the motion sensor, which can alert you to movement within a designated area. It has multiple levels of sensitivity, which can be adjusted in the Xsense Home Security app, which we'll get to shortly. A really cool thing about this kit is that Xsense includes batteries with all these components. There's a mount for the motion sensor, and behind that, we see the first of 2 entry sensors. Each entry sensor is made up of 2 pieces, a sensor and a sensor magnet, which, when installed on a window or a door, can alert you when those entry points are opened. And just like the motion sensor, each entry sensor includes its own battery, which, according to Xsense, can last up to 3 years. Back in the box, we find the second entry sensor. There's some documentation in the box. Here's a note about after-sales service and warranty information, a ubiquitous quick start guide with some QR codes, and a set of instructions. And finally, we've got an eye-catching sticker declaring the house is under protection by Xsense. Alright, so let's crack open the accessories and power adapter box. So the power adapter utilizes USB-C, and it's great to see Xsense embrace a standard charging method rather than a proprietary charger. In the accessories bag, we have some adhesive strips, which is one of your device mounting options. We have the remote control, and we have some screws, which are another mounting option. By the way, folks, if you're enjoying the channel, like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. My puppy will be thrilled. Back to the kit. With the unboxing experience out of the way, it's time to set up the kit. Xsense recommends placing the base station somewhere you can easily interact with it, and my turntable fits the bill just fine. Then you can download the Xsense Home Security app from the Apple App Store or Google Play. Once you've downloaded the app, you have the option of creating a new account or logging in with an existing one. Be aware the app does request a number of permissions during the setup process. When setup is complete, you'll have the option of adding your devices. I'm going to start with that one right there, the base station. The app allows you to name your devices and to assign them to different rooms. There are quite a few options to choose from, and since I am in the living room, I'm going to choose Living Room. From there, you'll pair your devices. For the base station, you're supposed to press and hold the button on the device until the LED indicator flashes green. But for me, that LED started flashing green as soon as I plugged the device into the wall. But the flashing did stop when I held the button down. After a brief pause, the flashing resumed, and I had no trouble proceeding with the setup process, which next involves scanning a QR code on the bottom of the device. From there, you'll connect the device to your Wi-Fi, so make sure you have your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth enabled on your mobile device during setup. Once the app recognizes the base station, you can adjust the audible alert volume and choose from a number of alert tones like this. You can also adjust the brightness of the base station's LED light. Once you've got your base station set up, it's a very similar process to add the motion sensor. At some point, you'll be asked to hold down a test button until an LED flashes blue like this. And once you've added the device, you'll get a notice telling you that the motion sensor's alerts are on a 2-minute cooldown to avoid excessive notifications. Digging deeper into the app settings, you can adjust the motion sensor's level of sensitivity. After that, I added the entry sensors and remote control to the app. The process was pretty similar to what I'd already done with the base station and motion sensor. And once everything was set up in the app, it was time to move on to the installation of the sensors. As mentioned earlier, you've got some options for how you proceed with the installation. You can use the included screws or these red adhesive strips. Since I rent an apartment and can't make any permanent changes, I'll be using a different, temporary means of installing the sensors for the purposes of this review. First up, it's the entry sensor, which can be installed on a door or a window. These are two-piece sensors, so you want to put the sensor portion on the door frame or window frame and the sensor magnet on the door or window itself. When the door opens and the two halves separate, the base station should give you an audible alert. Just make sure the gap between the two parts of the entry sensor is not more than an inch wide. If this is set up correctly, the base station should alert me to any attempt to open the door. Let's find out right now. Alright, so that worked. And if you're watching the app, you'll get a real-time update that the door has been opened or closed. Now, while the sound you just heard was a subtle chirp, once you set up an actual alarm profile, any attempt to open the door will result in a very different kind of alarm. We'll get to that in a bit. Let's install the motion sensor next. As mentioned earlier, Xsense includes batteries with all this gear, which is awesome. It's important to note that Xsense recommends installing the motion sensor indoors and away from direct sunlight or a heat source. You'll need to install this mount to the back of the motion sensor and make your choice about screws or adhesive strips. Xsense also recommends you install the motion sensor 2 meters above the floor. Alright, so I've installed the motion sensor in our hallway, which gets a fair amount of traffic. The sensor itself is pretty unobtrusive, so why don't we sneak around the corner and give this motion sensor a quick test. It sensed me, folks. But what about a smaller member of my family? My puppy was eager to help me test the Xsense home security kit, and the motion sensor's 2-minute cooldown gave her plenty of time to practice strutting around in the hallway, which meant more treats for her and a rare opportunity for her to explore a part of the apartment that's usually off limits to puppies. And bingo! The motion sensor can even detect a small dachshund, which is why being able to control the sensitivity level in the app is a really good thing. The final part of the kit is the remote control, and once you've added it to the app, you can set up a bunch of different security profiles depending on whether you're home, away, or simply want to disarm your sensors altogether. You can engage these settings simply by holding the corresponding button on the remote for 3 seconds.
Home mode ready. System on.
With Home engaged, you'll hear your chosen alert sounds when your sensors are triggered, but if you select the Away profile, instead of a subtle alert sound, you'll hear a loud alarm which should hopefully deter would-be intruders. You can also trigger the alarm manually by holding the remote's SOS button for 5 seconds. Let's give it a try. You can turn that alarm off through the app or by holding the button on the base station.
Alarm off.
The app also has a history tab that keeps a list of notifications so you can stay informed about what sensors have been triggered and when. So that's pretty much it. I find the Xsense home security system to be a great way of keeping tabs on what's going on in my home, even if it's something as harmless as my puppy snooping around where she doesn't belong. But it also gives me some peace of mind knowing I'll be alerted if someone tries to open my door in the middle of the night. Just remember, while this kit may be great at informing you about what's going on in your home, it's not going to inform the authorities for you. So a system like this probably won't replace a professionally monitored home security solution. But in some situations, just hearing an alarm or getting a notification can be extremely important. And to that end, there is very real value in the Xsense home security system, and I think it could be a great asset to any home. The setup was relatively easy, there wasn't much of a learning curve, and most importantly, the Xsense home security system keeps me informed and alerted. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. We'll catch you later.